The Epstein scandal continues, and Donald Trump is collapsing, especially now that his former chief of staff has joined the conversation. Prepare for eye rolling. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Jeffrey Epstein and the FBI files related to his sex ring clients and his death remain the hot topic of conversation in Washington today. And the more people talk about it, the more Donald Trump seems to go completely off his rocker in trying to deny everything. First, he said he would release the files. Then he said there was nothing in them. Then he said the files don't exist and the whole thing is a hoax. And even more delicious for Democrats, his approval ratings are plummeting over this, and his base is turning on him for being part of the deep state, or a satanic human trafficker, or something. These people don't need to make sense. Last night, a low-energy Trump called into the Real America's Voice channel to take his case to the American people. It probably didn't have the effect he wanted.
I think they could look at all of it. It's all the same scam. They could look at this Jeffrey Epstein hoax also, because that's the same stuff. That's all put out by Democrats.
Yeah.
And, some of the naive Republicans fall right into line like they always do. They just don't have the sustainability. They don't have they don't have that stick to it like glue. The Democrats, they have bad policy. They have bad candidates, they have bad everything, but they stick together. The Republicans don't do that, but they ought to look into the Jeffrey Epstein hoax too, because that's another hoax that's frankly put out by the pushing the Republicans and put out by the Democrats.
No, they definitely set the Republicans up. One big prosecutor look at it all. Would that make you feel good, you think?
Well, I think it's in the case of Epstein, they've already looked at it, and they are looking at it, and I think all they have to do is put out anything credible. But, that was run by the Biden administration for 4 years. I can imagine what they put into files, just like they did with the others. I mean, the Steele dossier was a total fake.
Right.
It took 2 years to figure that out for the people. And all of the things that you mentioned were fake. Yeah. So I would imagine if they were run by Chris Wray and they were run by Comey, and because it was actually even before that administration, they've been running these files. And so much of the things that we found were fake with me, but especially you look at that Steele dossier where they paid like 14 or 16 million. That's more than James Patterson gets paid to do a #1 bestseller.
Isn't that crazy?
And the thing turned out to be a total scam. So frankly, I think I love that they're looking at all this stuff. If they are, I hope they are.
Oh, it gets even more pathetic. Stay with me here. Trump's denials, as it goes without saying, aren't doing much for his image or to make this Epstein story go away. And he's not getting much help from his deputies either. That includes Mick Mulvaney, Trump's chief of staff during his first term. Mulvaney was a key witness in the Ukraine scandal that got Trump impeached the first time. He also became an ardent COVID conspiracy theorist, claiming that the medical world exaggerated the risks of the disease to hurt Donald Trump. Of course, it was Trump's mismanagement that caused the pandemic in the first place, but never mind. Recently interviewed for the news channel Al Jazeera, Mulvaney addressed the rumors and scandals surrounding the Epstein files and didn't really do Trump any favors. Now, this is a longer clip, but there is a lot here to unpack, so watch the whole thing.
Last year, you said the Jeffrey Epstein scandal would have no political impact at all on Trump's election chances. And you were right about that. It didn't. But it's certainly impacting his presidency. It's divided the MAGA base. Many conservatives are furious with him and his administration. Trump, of course, is a former close friend of Epstein's. They're furious at him for not releasing the Epstein files, as he promised he would. Is it because, as Elon Musk has said, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files?
No, absolutely not. He's in the files. A lot of people in the files. This is if there was something in the files that was particularly damning about Donald Trump, the files would have been released by the Biden administration.
No, not if it was damning about Bill Clinton as well. Not if it was damning about.
Can I please just okay? If it was really damning about Donald Trump, they would have released at least that part. My guess is, and it's an educated guess, is that it's particularly damning of very important people on both sides of the political aisle, which is why Trump doesn't want to release it and why Biden didn't release it either. If it was just about Trump, it would have come out.
You were the chief of staff when Epstein apparently died by suicide in prison.
Yeah,
you were.
Yeah,
We checked.
So, yeah.
Trump at the time baselessly suggested that Bill Clinton might have killed him, as he does.
Baselessly?
Okay. You think Bill Clinton might have killed him? Okay, just checking. I don't know how loyal
Is
you
Bill
are
Clinton
to-
on the list?
I mean, you were chief of staff at the time. You didn't come out and correct him, so maybe you do share that insane view.
Not my job.
That literally is your job as
it's
chief of
not.
staff.
No.
You just said earlier the chief of staff controls information coming to Donald Trump. Who told him that Bill Clinton killed him?
It's not the job of the chief of staff to protect, to correct the president of the United States. And as between who knows the job of the chief of staff, you know a lot about a lot. You don't know a lot about.
But you just told me the definition was to protect Donald Trump. So you failed.
The job of the president of the United States is to make sure he gets good information.
And he failed because someone told him that Bill Clinton killed Jeffrey Epstein, and you didn't protect him from that.
Did they tell him?
Yeah, he retweeted a post saying that Bill Clinton could have killed him.
So again,
I mean, you're saying you didn't see any of the video stuff, you weren't involved, this doesn't rise to the level of chief of staff or the White House, and yet you're confidently saying that Elon Musk is wrong and his name's not in the files. How do you know?
No, I didn't. No, I absolutely didn't. In fact, I think if you go back and look at the tape, I said, I imagine that Donald Trump's name is in the file someplace. There's photographs of them together. Okay. So if there's a file someplace, which I assume there is.
Trump says his name is not in anything. So he's lying.
I could imagine. Why? There'd be photographs of him.
But he said it's not him.
I have to imagine his name is on the list someplace. He was a member at Mar-a-Lago. By the way, Trump kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for being too weird. True story.
I mean, he also said he's a terrific guy who likes younger women.
So wait, the Epstein files exist and Trump is in them, or he's not in them and they don't exist? Or he's in them and he's not doing anything wrong except hanging out with a human sex trafficker? Whatever. The greater crux of what Mulvaney says, the most important claim, is that if Trump was at all embarrassed by the contents of the Epstein files, the Biden administration would have released them. But I don't buy that. For one thing, then Attorney General Merrick Garland was concentrating on other scandals, like January 6th. For another, Garland could have selectively released parts of the files that would incriminate Trump, and technically, Trump could do the same thing now to embarrass his own political opponents. Unless, of course, Trump was key to the whole situation and there was no way not to make him look guilty. Let the speculation commence. This story is not going away. If you watch our channel, and subscribe if you don't, you may have already heard me say this before, but as a reminder, Watergate took down Richard Nixon, not his many illegal actions or war crimes. This looks more and more like Trump's Watergate. The next thing you know, he'll be telling all of us he's not a crook either. Share your theories in the comments. This is Occupy Democrats.